I think this is 7:32. I've been going live 2 years in a row, every single day. And today I'm here with my partner, Brian. We're talking about how to update our AI agent so that it can respond better. Or we're troubleshooting our prompts today to our system message. Specifically, it's called a retrieval augmented generative agent, a RAG agent. And this agent is going to be going to our database, looking at all the past podcast conversations that we have had on the best podcast for affordable housing investments, and it's going to come up with different answers. Now, I'm running into some issues, and so Brian and I are going to work through this today. And Brian, I think maybe this has to do with the prompt that we put in last week. Last time we talked about probably like 10 or 12 days ago, and I swear when we left that live, it was working. So maybe something just didn't save with the prompt. That's what I might be thinking. So let me share with you what's going on. So if I am in the agent, so just so everybody knows, right, this agent has been trained on all of our past podcast conversations. So right now, when I ask like, hey, what are the best ways to screen for Section 8 tenants, like you might get questions like this. And let's see how it's pulling back the answers. I might have to refresh it because I actually had this open for a long time. Okay, still going. So right here, it's pulling up a chunk where it's 86% confident. And this is from feedback that we've given it. Now, is it running over and over? Let's see.
It's ran 3 times?
Yeah, it's running 3 times. Even though it's gone, I would argue that the first time it got it, like that's a pretty high score already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully it finishes soon. It's stuck in the OpenAI model, so it's doing some thinking.
So 0.74.
Let me check the model, make sure we're still on 5. Yeah, we're on 5 mini.
Okay, so it came back finally. I hear you want reliable investigate where retrieval failed. So for some reason it says retrieval failed here. I don't know what's causing it to plug that in there.
Hmm.
Can you tell me whether you're screening for single family, multi-family unit, and which city? Oh, that's kind of cool. Like it probably thought the question was too vague, and now is asking for a follow-up question to give it a better answer. Huh.
We could look at some of the logs. So like the OpenAI chat model 3, I'm curious if it gives us any information in the logs. Yeah. It's kind of like finding a needle in the haystack, but
Right. I'm wondering, do you have like the old system message that we used to have in here before we updated everything?
yeah, let me copy it over and put it in there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's start with that. Here, I'll paste it in on my end. I'll save, and then you can refresh.
Sounds good.
Give me a second. All right, go ahead and refresh, and let's run that test and see what's going on.
All right, let's do it.
So we can run with that question. One thing I'll note too is that when we ran our last test, we were kind of being particular about the use case. We had a situation, right, where the answer should be a strict no. And so we set up our prompt to be kind of geared around giving a no answer if it's pulling a no from our data. So maybe that is part of it. And there's also some examples that were like JSON based outputs. So I think maybe it was getting a little confused.
Okay.
So I think when we switched our question from being like the yes or no type question, pulling that data directly with a no answer, to another generic Section 8 question, it's like, wait, I'm looking for like I want to say no really bad.
Right. That was interesting, right? So
Yeah.
that makes sense. So let's go back to like, what are the best zip codes to invest in Detroit for Section 8? I think we're back on 5. Yep, we're correct. So now we're going back to our old prompt, just for people that are looking. This is just all part of the troubleshooting process as you try to figure out, okay, why did that do this? And this is how we are narrowing down exactly what's going on so that we figure out, okay, where in the process do we make these updates? Opens, queries, pre-ranker, 85%.
While that runs, I'm going to look at the execution so I can save.
Mm-hmm.
I want to save the last system message as kind of a reference.
Direct answer in plain language. Why does it say that? That's so weird. Okay, but this is right. These are the better pockets for voucher tenants. I mean, this is pretty good. Call the local PHA, get the payment statement thing that tells you the real rent ceiling, higher local project document thing, why this works as in a quick example. So this took it a little bit literally. Okay. These zips come out repeatedly from local investors, receiving strong subdivision thing.
Here, I'm going to do this.
So this is pulling up from like a transcript issue right here, 4823X. When really should have said 48235.
I see. So it didn't get the full zip code right there.
Yeah, it could be a transcript error too, though. So that could
Yeah.
be it. 4823X. So.
Okay. So I'm gonna put into a couple notepads all of the different system messages that we've been using.
Mm-hmm.
So that is. Test. Okay.
Okay, so that worked.
Okay, so we have context.
Best ways to screen for Section 8 tenants. What are the best ways to screen for Section 8 tenants? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's calling the vector store 3 times. But I think last time we had to change this to, instead of calling these tools as many times as necessary, we say don't call them more than 3 times, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we didn't want that because it kept running for some reason.
Hey, but this one worked out.
That might have been before we changed to ChatGPT 5, but.
Oh yeah, that could be it too. Yeah.
So I have another prompt. So our human in the loop has its own prompt that I don't really mess with a lot. And that's what's giving us those answers into the Google Sheets. I can copy that over. It has a few changes. So it's kind of hard to like summarize all the changes right here, but let's see. So maybe if you want, I can post them in the chat so we can compare.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it that way. Chat, where are you? Wait, there we go. So this is our current, like, we'll call it production. That's our human in the loop.
Okay.
And then I will paste in the playground kind of test one that we're working with right now.
Okay. All right, okay, chat. So I'm gonna copy the first one you sent me.
All right, and then we might have to change one thing in there.
I don't think I copied everything. Hold on. There was a character limit on the chat, maybe.
Oh, is it? Let's see. Here's the truth, the right is steady.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, let me undo that. How about I just have you paste it in, and I'll just refresh on my end.
Okay, I'll put in the human in the loop one real quick.
Okay.
All right.
I'll reload mine.
Okay. Test re-ranker. Wait 1 second while I post this.
No problem.
Superstore. Okay. All right. So now let me save and then go ahead and refresh.
Okay. So now the rack ranker.
It looks really similar, but there's a couple variations at the bottom that are a little off, or a little bit different, I mean. Okay.
Yep. Got it. All right. So on ChatGPT 5, great. Okay. What are the best tips to screen for great Section 8 tenants? Technically, the prompt's a little different, so let's see what it comes back to.
I don't know why it says direct answer all of a sudden. It's like the most random thing.
Right? That doesn't. Where is the direct answer in the prompt?
Like nothing changed. Like that's our production one that's going to the
right. Direct answer. That's so weird. Okay, true Section 8, just like any offline running sequence, is a product verify authorize. Okay. Let's do an in-person meet and greet or short home visit thing, church housekeeping, respectful property. Confirm tenant's responsiveness and paperwork skills by watching how quickly they return documents. Oh, okay. Time to do today. Chronological learners, what you want to determine. The answer is no or hasn't. Keep looking. Before you list, call your local authority. Why it works. Okay, so it's still throwing in the M dashes in there. Fine. I thought we solved that last time, but I mean, for the most part, that's a pretty good answer. It's just like these weird little things like direct answer and the M dashes.
There's one line in the system message that says, content rules first answer the person's actual question directly, but we're not telling it to say.
Direct answer, right?
Oh wait, no. Number 2, it says, sorry, it says follow this format, and then it says start with a short sentence that shows you understand what they're asking. 2, give a direct answer in simple language. So I think that's where it's coming from. But I don't
Oh,
know.
so it's taking that really literally, like give a
Yeah.
direct answer.
Yeah. I'm like, what? That's not literal. You don't have to write direct answer. That's funny.
Oh, see, it is an intern.
Yeah. Yeah. But you said.
But you said to say direct answer. Oh my goodness. Okay. What I learned is I can, so here's what I can do on my end. I can take a couple of live streams that I've done where I talk at length for a couple of like sessions like about topics, either underwriting, etc. And I can transcribe them and I can try to make, I'm pretty sure I can just have ChatGPT or like Poppy do this. What I then can do is like, hey, show me an output on how to answer this question based on how I've talked with the same level of tone, conciseness, and sort of rate of speech, and come up with a prompt that gives me a style prompt that reflects my way of talking. So I can use that to essentially replace number 2 here.
Mhm.
Because I think what we're trying to say is give a direct answer in simple language. We just don't want it to be fluffy, right? And I think I can get there with a much longer style type of prompt and replace that there. So we can fix that. We can fix that issue. So I know how to fix that issue.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll get there. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think doing something like that where we just make versions of this prompt where we don't want to destroy it, but we need to like fine tune those pieces. You have a great idea with what you just mentioned. And I will
Yeah.
say too that the OpenAI chat model that we use will probably give us a different result. Even like with our last time we met, we
Mm-hmm.
jumped to 5 mini, and that gave us, I thought, like pretty nice responses. But maybe 5 mini is a little too literal. Maybe it's better at comprehension of other things. So we could try, maybe going to another um, model if we
Oh.
want to.
Oh, dude. Yeah. All right. Let's give that a quick whirl. I think you raised a really good point there.
I think 4.1 mini. If I remember correctly. Yeah, you could try 5 too.
Yeah, 4.1 mini definitely had the M dashes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's check this.
Okay, so let's see. What what are the best ways?
It's funny because I use M dashes a lot when I am writing messages to people.
Dude, I used to too. Seriously, I used to write dashes all the time when I was in consulting. Man, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. What are the
Yeah.
best
My
ways
brain's
to
just like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm just gonna put a dash.
Same. When I was consulting, when I was doing decks and slides, that's all I use because I wasn't gonna do dot dot dot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Screen 4, section 8, sentence. But nowadays, every time you have a dash, someone just assumes it's written by AI.
Yeah.
And man, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy, dude. Like I saw ChatGPT released a new product that you can buy on ChatGPT now, like through Etsy and stuff like that. I was like, whoa, that went really fast,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Everything.
people people are just gonna book dentist appointments and buy things now with the chat window. It's kind of that's scary. But
Yeah.
dude, no M dashes. You're right. It was 5 mini. We just can't use mini.
Yeah. It's tough too because like I think,
Oh, direct answer's still there.
yeah. That's silly to me. I thought when we did 5 mini last time we didn't see an M dash, but it might just be conditional to the question. I don't know. Like,
I'll watch a replay that we did last time to see if we did 5 mini or 5. And
okay.
we might have done 5 actually.
Did it give an error? Why are those the super base and the ranker cohere? If you look in like the
Oh yeah,
playground,
they give errors. I've been.
continue.
Oh, we did too many calls.
Oh yeah, if you're
So I think we
oh
still have to do. We still have to stop it, but it still gave an answer.
yeah.
Verify field with the voucher, confirm voucher size match thing. The rent is likely to pass rent reasonableness, and the tenant knows how to complete a rafter quickly. Call the last landlords, do a quick home visit or drive by, run consistent screening, watch communication. Yes, yes. Call private landlords. Short insight. Masters and the thing. Keep saying the biggest providers. Dude, this is a really. I mean, this is like this is like an 80% answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is really good. So let's think about it, right? If someone were to email us, right? Hey, I've got this tenant who applied for my home to rent it out as a Section 8 voucher. What else should I be looking out for before selecting them as a tenant? They seemed honest, responsive, and seem to be working towards improving their current
Before you
situation.
press enter on that,
Uh-huh.
sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I just didn't want you to press enter too quick. Can you copy that?
Above?
No, your message to the chat real quick. That one.
Okay.
Yeah. Copy, and then let me save, and now refresh your screen real quick.
Okay, let me throw in a chat. I'll copy this. I'll refresh.
So what I did was, oh, you might need to change the model again. Maybe you can go to 5 if you want.
Okay, got it. Because you were probably on 5 mini. Yep, got it.
Yeah, sorry about that. So what I did
problem.
actually, I know that we had an issue where our re-ranker got called so many times it was destroying our connection.
Mhm.
So I copied over our ChatGPT assisted prompt or system message, but I only took the critical tool piece that says like how many times to call, re-rank cohere, some of the confidence value conditions and things like that. So I didn't touch the main prompt. I just changed the tool piece. I want to see if that helps.
Ah, okay. Good idea there. I see what you did there. I see it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you cannot reach 0.70 after 3 attempts, would this be considered 3 attempts because you see it super base come up 4 times? Okay.
Retrieval failed. Quick question.
Interesting.
So let me look at it while it does it. One. Okay, so it called re-rank 1 time. 2. Yeah, I would go by the number that it shows next to the nodes. That's probably the easiest way to tell.
The number by the nodes.
So the nodes are, yeah, those guys. So the green super base, it shows 4, 5.
Oh, I see.
So it's still ignoring the critical tool message.
That's so weird. Why is it ignoring that? That doesn't make any sense.
I know. Yeah.
That's a question I can. I could bring that with Nate next week too. If we don't figure it out, that's okay. Because I imagine you probably just have a little bit of time to just hook this up to a Gmail as like for the demo, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Detroit Housing Commission Quick note, couldn't verify 8.70 out of 3 reviewers. So a quick question, dial this in. What bedroom count are you gaming for? Direct answer. Verify when you're on screening. Align with the exchange reasonableness. Prep for inspection. I mean, this is pretty solid.
Yeah, the information is good. I just hate the structure. Like, why is it? I feel like it's giving some weird formatting and stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's sticking too literal to us because, I mean, you would never say this. I couldn't verify a 0.70 relevant score after thing.
Yeah, and
Right?
that's basically what we have coming from the human in the loop sheet. So it's very strange. Like
Interesting.
our most recent human in the loop is row 35. I don't have a date on
Mm-hmm.
it. Let me see. Oh, September 23rd. So that was a week ago or 5 days ago. Or what is that? 7 days ago? Yeah. So it looks like the response was pretty decent. Like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it says a few tactical tips for you, and then like maybe
That's okay. A few tactical tips that's okay. It's got the M dashes because this was based off of 4.1, right? I think it was still based on 4.1.
Yeah. Well, let's see the because that's coming from our active human in the loop.
Oh, okay.
Let me check what that model is. That one is
Okay.
4.1. So that's I feel like the only difference right now. Maybe I'm not aware of what's going on. Let me look around real quick. Okay, we'll copy that. I'm going to make a couple of changes possibly. Test re-ranker. Okay. 20. Save.
That's funny. Someone joined our Instagram. It's like, hey, what format is the prompt in? Markdown, XML, or pure text? It's in pure text. If you ask chat or some large language model to format XML or Markdown, it might adhere better. Interesting.
I've heard about that. Yeah. So test re-ranker. So limit to 4, 3, text small. Okay. All right, let me save our test re-ranker and we go to, I'm going to keep it on, actually, hang on, sorry. I'll change it to 4 mini. I want to see if we can get back to as close to what we have in the human loop.
Okay,
let's
do it.
Just a couple modifications. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm saving.
So
should be able to go and refresh N8N to see.
Okay. Let's see. So this is a question we got from Reddit. Someone posted about this. And this is our response previously. Numbers look solid. Double checking. Confirm the proper text assessment. Interesting. Great. Don't want to say water sewer. All right.
So what I did was
4.1. Okay.
Yeah, I limited our Supabase vector store node. It was set to 20 calls or fetches.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be pulling back less chunks, but that might help it with how many times it is running. And I also changed up the description in it. There was reference to calling chunks about section 8, but I made it more generic.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much, those are pretty much the only differences.
Let's see. All right. pretty good. Solid during homework. Because I look at duplex and interesting. If one diary section is honestly a great start, especially for clear when class was still very much on the table.
Oh, looks like it didn't run. It didn't even go into the Supabase node that time.
Huh. Weird. It just answered it.
Yeah. It's just using basically ChatGPT to try to answer it. So it's gonna miss those little nuggets that we wanted to get.
Reserves. Furnace section of the plumber. It's still following the format of why one guest on the podcast, but doesn't refer to which podcast it was.
Okay, now that's 4.1 mini. Maybe it's struggling there. We'll go back to 5 with those changes and try it one more time.
Okay.
Let me save. Yeah, refresh it one more time real quick. There you go.
All right, let's see. How do we feel about this duplex purchase? It's not going into vector stores though. Is that because it feels like it has answered the question already? Oh, there it is.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's no way it's going to find a chunk like this because this deal is so specific, right? That would make sense why it's running over and over.
Yeah, it might be not confident, and now it's just continually trying to dig into its bag of tricks.
Yeah, true failed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask the cross streets. Right? That you wouldn't do that because that doesn't matter. You would try. So, I mean, the problem here is just I don't have any sort of deal analysis framework for it to go through.
That's probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because so you can solve it two ways. One is you give it a framework for how you look at a deal. The second possibility would just be if there isn't a chunk in our vector store, the right approach would be, and I'm trying to think like a human, right? If I'm an intern and I don't know how to answer a question my boss just told me to, I would probably still Google how to answer that question. So maybe the right approach is like, hey, if I have no relevant chunk, then I should look out into the world for either frameworks or concepts on how to best assess a question and provide a direct answer.
Yeah. And along that same like logic, if you're a person who doesn't have the answer, you would probably try to you wouldn't answer it, right? And that was sort of one of our things we were working on last time, where instead of being a yes man like our AI models want to be, we need to know when to say no. And so the way I'm thinking about something like this is, hey, here's a deal. Maybe we don't have the right tools to analyze this. That's an identification type of situation, and we can have a use case where we use AI to identify if this is a gap in our knowledge or in our database, and if it is, then don't give answer, or return something to our sheet that says, hey, we need to learn more about this or whatever. But thankfully, this is human in the loop still, so we're not sending this immediately out. But you could engineer it to where you get a confidence score. Like, do we have chunks getting pulled back? No. Okay, then we're not going to answer. That's how I'd approach it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with this guy is like he doesn't even have to have maintenance expenses in there.
Yeah, you could answer this really quick. Like just
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, dude, you have no maintenance in there. Like that would easily be 10%, and if you're in a 10% cap rate, you are at 0% essentially. You're not making money on this deal. He thinks he's making money because there's no maintenance, and I think that's such a great. That is how I help people. Is like I can look at that and say, dude, you have no maintenance. But then it just becomes like, because this is a whole different type of question. This is like, hey, can you give an opinion on this deal question? And a single family home, a duplex, 1 to 4 units is very different than asking for a multifamily question, which we've had that on the spreadsheet as well. So it's almost like for every type of question, I have to come up with a way of like evaluating that question. And the first thing I might suggest doing is for a single family or duplex question, and to give you the numbers, the first thing I should be doing is figuring out whether or not they're missing any numbers in the first place. Yeah. I think that's. But then you would still just need a triage agent, so to speak. Like you gotta have someone to recognize it. Like, hey, what kind of question is this? Is it just a word text question? Is it a situational question? Or is it like a math question or deal analysis question?
Yeah. It's not coming to me very quickly, like what the right type of data would be for an agent to be able to answer something like this.
Right.
So yeah,
that would be a good question. I could bring that up with Nate and just see like whether they have come across anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting for sure. I mean, I'm sure there's like complex use cases that do things like that, but yeah, outside of the scope of transcripts, I think. But really interesting. Let's try a maybe a more simple question and
okay. Yeah.
Kind of see what's going on. I think
how
re-rank.
Do I find the best contractors for rehabbing my Section 8 property? Let's see if that posted anything. I don't think we ever asked that question before.
All right. Got some hits.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how much these things cost? Like these tokens?
I forget the formula. But yeah.
it's like cents, right? Not even cents, hopefully.
Yeah. Let me open up my dashboard and make sure.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to be hitting your account that much.
I think I just load it with money, and then once it runs out, that could also be an effect of getting weird responses, or slow responses.
What city's property and are you looking for GC run a whole job or individual trades? Interesting. I am looking for contractors in Kansas City, North Carolina, and Detroit. Looking for individual trades. Okay, I'm just making notes down for myself.
So did it fail again, or what was the?
It failed when I asked how to find the best contractors for rehabbing Section 8 property, and it says quick clarifying question: what city is the property in, and are you looking for a GC to run a whole job? I think the city isn't relevant because the principle of how you look for a good contractor, either through referrals, either through going to Home Depot, seeing who's showing up on time, or just simply looking at reviews. Like that would be a good way to go about it.
Yeah. And just so you know, I have basically $119 left in my budget. We've only spent what looks to be 27 cents. So.
Oh, good. That makes me feel so much more comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. So September 17th, we spent $1.
Okay.
Well,
All right, good. We're not breaking the bank. All right.
Yeah.
Because we're not generating video. I think that's probably why we're okay. Let's see. So my questions for Nate is one. The first one was, my question was, how do you retain tone/style of writing best in your N8N prompts? 2 was, I think our question was, how do you reduce the number of, how do you categorize the type of questions, i.e. text-based questions, number/deal analysis questions, etc. I thought I had one more question from. Do you remember what that was?
Oh, was it the direct question? Sorry, did you say that one already?
Yeah, no, I don't have the direct question there. So, well, the direct answer. No, we covered that because I was gonna put in a style prompt, and my question to Nate was gonna be, how do you best retain tone and clarity and style in your N8N writing format? And
Gotcha.
I kind of want to ask him how he did it.
Yeah.
And then categorizing. I thought there was one more, but maybe I'm making it up. Retrieval failed. Trades.
I'm looking at the executions right now because I'm looking at the most recent one where it says wait. Okay, so that one did return a response. Okay.
Yeah, it returned a response, but it still says retrieval failed.
Yeah. Why is it saying that? Okay.
So
I'm looking at the logs. I want to figure out where that's coming from.
So then the question, the last one was, how do you tell the N8N agent? So obviously we talked about categorizing, but to revert back to its original, maybe just ChatGPT instance, when there isn't a relevant answer in our Supabase vector store. I mean, that's how I ask it.
Yeah.
I mean, instant isn't the right word, but like revert back to its original ChatGPT approach.
I think I remember the other one.
Well,
it was oh god, it's like it was just there. Where did it go? It's late. Oh, it was for maybe you said this. Sorry. Remember the question about the deal analysis? Did you write that down?
Yeah, because I was saying, how do you categorize the type of questions, text-based questions versus number or deal analysis questions? And then the third point was like, well, how do you tell the NA engine to go back to just doing a ChatGPT search if there isn't a answer that it feels comfortable with?
Okay. Yeah, I think being granular on like how you would set up an agent to handle like a complex mathematical type question, like deal analysis. Like, do you feed it deals? Like maybe how you structure that? Like what type of content would be best to supplement your Supabase with in order to help with things like that. That might be like, I feel like that's going to be a hard question for him to answer, but maybe that's like super simple. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he tells me.
Yeah.
And then are there any questions about the email front on your side? So maybe I can ask him just like, so those three questions or those three topics would be for like our specific AI agent. But as we think about how to productize it a little bit better, right? In terms of like, hey, what do you typically do for a small business service provider? It's giving them agent swarm, they get an email, they triage the question. Like what am I missing here?
Yeah. I think it's pretty high level enough that he would understand and be able to answer.
Yeah, how do you productize it? How
Yeah.
do you productize it? Okay.
And then one note on the Gmail side of things, I have my Gmail account hooked up to um, the Gmail webhook trigger in
Mm-hmm.
N8N. If you are able to, like a few different ways we could approach it, maybe like on a Saturday, like
Okay.
before it's too late, maybe we get on together and we connect yours.
Okay.
And that way, when you meet with these folks on the 11th, you could have your Gmail trigger set up to the Google Sheets instead of it going from mine, so
Yeah,
that you can more easily demonstrate everything.
that's perfect. I can do
Cool.
that. All right, so
Yeah.
let's this is a good stopping point. I think we know what the next level, what's the next set of questions are. And then on Saturday, I'll work with you, just kind of hook up ChatGPT on, I mean, the Gmail trigger onto my email. And that could work out really well.
Yeah. Sounds good. And
Dope.
if you have free time and you want to look into getting a developer account with Gmail or with Google,
Uh,
that would be like the first step. So otherwise, it should be pretty simple. We could just do it all together on
get
Saturday.
a developer account.
Yeah, let me see
Okay.
if I can find the link for it.
Yeah, send me the link and I can do that in advance. So save us some time.
Let's see.
All right, I'll stop sharing my screen. Boom, this was good. Thank you, everybody.